Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Now, today I'm answering some questions again. I got a lot of those. So let's start. Now, initially I was planning to do these videos answering questions live so that you could ask me questions in live, but unfortunately, whenever it comes to quality live videos, they just don't work that well. All right, so let's begin. Question number 1 from Irsa Adnan. Hey sir, how are you? I have a question. Can you please tell me? I have a work authorization and my green card is pending. So I want to travel outside to meet my mother. It's been 5 years, sir. Can you please tell me which option use for I apply for travel document? Thank you. Okay, so you have a work authorization and your green card is pending. So having a work authorization does not really tell me a lot about your immigration status. You might be waiting for your green card based on marriage. You might be waiting for your green card based on asylum or refugee case. I need to know more because that's what really depends on what you're going to be applying for. Whether it's going to be parole or is it going to be a refugee travel document. So you need to figure that out. Just because you have a work authorization, it does not indicate which immigration status you're in. All right, so keep that in mind. If you can answer me to that question, add it in the comment. Do that and I'll be happy to answer. All right, let's get to the next one. Hello, it's very helpful information. I hold a TN visa. Do I need to apply for an EAD? EAD, employment authorization document, is required if you're planning to work in the United States of America. The only time when you don't need an employment authorization document is when you have a green card, because green card, the permanent residence card, is already on its own counts as basically something that authorizes you to legally work in the United States of America. So whether it is a work visa, whether it is some kind of student visa that allows you to work, if you do want to legally work in the United States of America, you have to apply for the EAD, all right? Because that's the only way for you to get everything else that is required to work, like for example, social security number. All right, let's move on. Eric Garden. What email address I can send email to USCIS to remind them I still waiting for 6 years in asylum pending? Thank you. First of all, sorry that this is taking so long. Unfortunately, a lot of people right now are still waiting for their asylum cases to be reviewed and called for interview. So they didn't even have the interview yet. I personally know a few people like that who are still waiting. There's really not much you can do, especially whenever it comes to email. It's really pointless. The best thing to do would be to call USCIS, their main customer service number, which would be uscis.gov, and you would be able to find it. Let's see, it looks like they did a few changes to the website since I was here, but if you find, let's see, where's the contact us tools, contact us, there we go. Contact us. Takes some digging now, apparently. Before it was a little bit easier. But another better thing that you can do is you can actually locate the service center for USCIS and schedule an appointment and go there. But again, at the end of the day, none of this is really helpful in any way, unfortunately. I had people go for the those appointments, InfoPass appointments, and call in and email other places, like for example some local state representatives and stuff like that, to complain. But it unfortunately that's just the way it is, unfortunately. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Sakshi Sharma. Hello sir, I'm trying to apply for travel document, but there an error occurs. A student must be FT, full-time registered international student in the quarantine period term to request an isolation plan. Please guide me through it. I'm not entirely sure what exactly you're referring to. If you're trying to apply for a travel document, it means that you are currently here in the United States of America and you want to travel somewhere, and you need a travel document for that because for whatever reason you don't have a visa or you don't have your passport. but error occurs. I'm not sure how you're trying to apply. Are you trying to apply online? Maybe that's what it is. As student must be full-time registered international student in the quarantine period term to request an isolation plan. Unfortunately I cannot answer this question because I'm not entirely sure what isolation plan you were referring to and where it says that. So if you can, please do provide some additional information on what exactly you're trying to do in your comment, and that would definitely be helpful. I'll try to come back to it later. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Sad Dallas Cowboys fan. Can I get a work permit from DMV? Please answer. No, unfortunately you cannot get a work permit from DMV. Work permit is an immigration document, so in order to get it you have to apply through USCIS, US Citizenship and Immigration Services, and you can actually do it online at the moment if you click on forms, and if you find a form, they seriously did change a lot of stuff on this website since I was here last, which was, I don't know, a few weeks ago. So you can, before you could apply online for the form, and the form should be I-5. Let's see. I-765 is the application for employment authorization. So this is what you need. And let's see if we can still apply online. Oh, doesn't look like you can apply for this online anymore. Weird. I don't know why they went back on it. It makes no sense. But unfortunately you do have to file a paper application now. So here's your form right here. You download that, you fill it out. I actually have the full video on filling out the paper form, luckily, and then the instructions. Just read through the instructions, follow the instructions, and then there's a filing fee, of course, that you need to submit with your form, and where to file you can find it here as well, and in the video I talk about it. Again, the video I've done a while ago. Back then you could file the stuff online, now you can't. Website changed, so things change every single day. That's why I always say in my videos that if you are listening to this video today, today is February 6, 2021, if you're watching it months from now, there are some good chances that stuff changed. So don't take my words as something 100%. Do your research just in case, to be on the safe side. All right, let's move to the next one. Edwin Fajardo. Hope I pronounced it correctly. I'm currently holding a J1 visa as an au pair. My period as an au pair finish up in October of this year, but I'd like to apply for F1 visa. My intentions are to interrupt my current visa. I'm pretty sure I need sent two I-539 forms, one for my status exchange request and the other for extension of my J1 visa. And my questions would be, which order should I send them from, and until when should I ask for extension of my current J1 visa? Thank you. So whenever it comes to the J1 visa, it really depends on because J1 is a visitor exchange exchange student, so you can it's partially as an F1 as a student visa and partially as a work visa, H1B1, which H1B, not H1B1, H1B that gives you an ability to work in the United States of America. So there is an employer, there is an offer that is involved. So really a lot of it depends on your employer, and I would highly recommend checking in with them and making sure that they know your intentions and what you're doing. You really don't need to do any extensions if you start your application process with the university whenever it comes to, and you have the actual invitation, the I-20 form. You can start your status change, right? So you don't really need to file two at the end of the day if you start doing it now. But like I said, check in with your employer and check in with the school that you're planning to go with, where you're planning to get your F1 from, and that would give you more answers, because most of the times that's not how the process works. You don't file one because it kind of to make it sound simple, it almost seems like you're contradicting yourself, right? You are extending your J1 status, but then you're changing your J1 status. So it's two things that contradict each other, and USCIS is definitely not gonna like it. So don't mess around with it too much. It should be one application, one form, one status change, and that's it. All right. So check in with your employer, check in with the school. All right, let's move on to the next one. Paris Dub. Hello, sir. I applied for asylum case on 02 June 2020, so about 6 months ago. After 180 days of applying, I applied for work permit on 2nd December 2020. All right. Now I received denial from USCIS mentioned that I can't apply for EAD before 365 days of applying for asylum case. Please give me what I should do now. Okay, I have a question here. 180 days, you're correct. Unless USCIS again changed something that I do not know about, but it should be 180 days. In fact, that's true. Not 365 days. That's ridiculous. They might have denied you. They might have denied you because you applied pretty much literally 180 days after. Usually I tell people to wait at least week or 2 weeks, because unfortunately that EAD clock is very particular, and certain offices they can play around with it differently. I've seen offices that say, hey, we don't count weekends, we only count business days, which is ridiculous, but that's what they do sometimes. All right, so I always say, give it at least 2 weeks after your 180 days. Give it another 2 weeks and then apply for the EAD. All right, but in your case, you say that they responded saying that before 365 days, which I never heard about. It's a little bit weird. So if you could, from the letter that you received from USCIS, if you could type it up, that particular sentence which mentions 365 days, and paste it into your comment, that would be great, and I'll try to come back on it. But unfortunately, that's it's really hard whenever it comes to EAD clock, especially if they want to deny you stuff like that. It's really hard to fight that. I've seen people successfully fight it with the help of some state representatives, some senators. If you can reach out to them for help and say, hey, listen, I applied for this. This is where it says that I can apply for 180 days, right? This is what I sent. This is when I sent it. And this is the response that I got. This is the denial that I got. And I wasn't able to work for so long, and I was waiting for this. I was relying on this, and they denied me. So please help me. All right. Sometimes that works. Again, not always, but you can try. You can try that route. But like I said, if you can't paste that stuff, do that. Okay, looks like you did some other hello sir, blah blah blah, the same thing. Clock. He said you can apply anytime after 150 days, and we did so. Please, sir, what can I do next to get EAD, as I don't trust my attorney anymore? No, you know what? Your attorney is correct. You can, because according to USCIS, according to their rules, you can apply. Now, some people say 150, some people say 180. I tell people 180 plus 2 weeks, just to be on the safe side. So you can't really blame your attorney for it, because that's what USCIS says. It's really not something the attorney made up. So I would talk to the attorney and tell him, hey, what's going on? Why did they decline? And see what he or she recommends, because she did not really do you wrong. They didn't lie to you or anything like that. All right, let's move on to the next one. Woken Truth. Can I file taxes with an ITIN? Not entirely sure what ITIN is. Sorry, can't answer that question. Let's move on to the next one. Noops. All right, I only need to change my mailing address. Should I leave blank the new address part? Okay, so you need to change your mailing address, but you want to leave blank the new address part. So what are you changing it to? Blank? This doesn't make any sense. All right, let's move on to the next one. Hello there. I'm looking to apply for visitor visa extension, but the I-94 validity left only a month. Is that okay? Yes, absolutely. It's better. It's kind of late. Yes, it's a fact. It's late, but the sooner you file it, anyway, it's better. It's better to file it than not file it at all. So definitely go for it and file it. All right. Thank you, sirs. Very helpful. Thanks. You guys are very welcome. All right, next one. Hey, I changed my address by mail 1 month ago, but until today I never got I guess it's confirmation letter. What should I do? Thank you. So whenever it comes to changing the address, yes, whenever you do change the address, usually you do get within 1 to 2 weeks, you do get the confirmation letter from the USPS, not USCIS, USPS from the mail itself, saying that the address has been changed. Sometimes, though, I've seen they send that confirmation letter to your old address. Sometimes I've seen they send it to the new address. I've seen both. So that might have been the case. That happened. But what you can do if you're already in the new address, what you can do is you can sign up maybe for something online that sends the mail and make it go to your old address. And then see if it's forwarded to your new, because if it is, then that's it. Your address change is working, because that's what it usually happens. So let's say you had your address at 123 First Avenue, and then now you did the address change, and now you live on 456 Second Avenue, right? So what that address change does is, if I send you a mail to 123 First Avenue, USPS, they automatically forward it to your new address, and you get it at your new address. And it will actually say it on the letter as well. It will say, obviously, me putting the label sending it to your old address, and then it will say forwarded to your new address. Okay, hopefully I answered that question. Let's move on to the next one. All right, how to extend visa. How can I travel while my B2 I-539 is still pending? Will there be any issues if I visit US again? My visa is valid till 2022. And then I got another question. Did you get a response to this? All right, you're getting to a response to this, both of you. So, listen, I-539 is your extension of stay in the United States of America, right? So if you're traveling without breaking that your stay, right? So you have your period of stay that you can, whether it's 6 months or whether it is, I don't know, 3 months, whatever you got in the airport when you came in. So if you were leaving before then, even if you applied for I-539, you're not breaking any rules. So even if your stay is extended, you left before your stay expired. So there's nothing wrong. But you do have a visa until 2022, which is the entry visa, which means that you can come back here anytime until 2022. So you don't have to worry about nothing, as long as you are leaving before your period of stay expires. All right? Hope that makes sense. Let's move to the next one. What's the process from an pair J1 to get a work visa if already in the US? So J1 visa, like I mentioned before, it does give you the ability to work. And looks like you did ask another question on the same video. What are the steps needed to get a work visa in the US from an immigration from Colombia? So it doesn't really matter where you're from. It's the same process for everybody. Whenever it comes to the J1 and most of the other work type visas, it really a lot depends on your employer, right? So whoever you're working with, make sure you check in with them and talk to them and ask them. They will be able to guide you through the process, but most of the times, as long as you have that visa, as long as you have all the supporting documents, you can apply for the EAD, which I showed in earlier, which is this form I-765 in application for employment authorization. And that's really it. That's really it. Just follow the process. Like I said, I did the separate video specifically on the application process. Again, things might change, we don't know, but pretty straightforward. At least it was. All right, let's move on to the next one. Wow, that's the name. I hope you can answer my question. Can I extend my B1, B2 visa after I got approved on my first application to extend? Due to COVID still, I am planning to apply for another extension. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, there are no limitations on how many times you can apply for the extension. Especially now, it absolutely makes sense because due to this COVID stuff, a lot of airports around the world are still closed, so people are still not able to leave and go back. So should not be any problems. Just don't wait too long. All right, just do it as soon as possible, so it's approved before your stay expires. That's really the only thing that you should think about, concentrate on. All right, let's move on to the next one. Daria Duran. Hi, I just obtained my green card through Asylum. Congratulations. My question is, how do I travel abroad since I don't have a passport? Should I apply for a travel document? Yes, you definitely do need to apply for a travel document. With green card, all right? So with green card, you don't have any problems traveling outside of the United States whenever you have the actual passport from whatever country that you have a citizenship from still, right? But a lot of people don't know that there are some countries out there that do not recognize dual citizenship. They do not recognize, people renewing passports, their passports over there from wherever you are, while you're here. So people are unable to do that, and their passports expire, and that's it. They kind of feel stuck. In those cases, yes, you do need to apply for that advanced parole, that refugee travel document, basically travel document in general. There are a few categories there. Just read through them, through the instructions. I-131, this is the form, and you can find the instructions there. In this video, I give you kind of, again, don't take my words for 100%, because this video I posted, I don't remember, let's see when I posted it. It was a while ago. And that's not what I was planning to do. This is what I was planning to do. November 26, 2019. So yeah, really a while ago. So yeah, a lot of things could have changed. Make sure you do your own research and go through the instructions, the fresh instructions from the website, and read them carefully, because you don't want to apply for something you don't need or you don't want. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Hakan Karatu, hopefully I pronounced it correctly, I don't know. Let's see. Hello, thank you for your informative video. You're very welcome. I will renew my travel document, which expires by January 15th, 2021. According to my lawyer, I do not have to pay anything for document due to I already paid for the first time when I applied for green card. I would like to apply myself because of the lawyer fee is $250 US. Do you think so? Is that information? No fee for renewal travel? No, sir. It doesn't sound correct to me at all. And how do I need to attach two biometrics with application? Thank you so much. Okay, so it doesn't sound correct to me, because just because you are applied for a green card, it does not have to do really anything with travel document. It's completely different thing. It's completely different application form. Most likely what the lawyer does is that they take $250 from you, and then they spend however much on the travel document, which I think the fee was $100 and something, $130 maybe, not 100%. You can check. You can go to the USCIS.gov and you can find out. In fact, you know what? Let's do it. Why not? I-131, application for travel document, and filing fees. Let's see. Where are the filing fees? Our fees. There we go. We regularly adjust our fees. Okay, good. I'm glad for you guys, but I need to know the fees. Wow. All right. So how to pay US citizen? How to pay with credit card? No. Filing fee. There we go. Wow. I don't know who was the designer of the new layout for the USCIS.gov, but it's terrible. All right, so there you go. I'm applying for if you're applying for a refugee travel document, it's $135. All right. If you're applying for some other things, it's $575. So there's a big difference. Depends on what status you're applying based on. Keep that in mind. But yeah, I highly doubt that. Yes, lawyer. That makes no sense, because it's completely separate application. So how do I attach two biometrics with application? So whenever it comes to the biometrics, what you do is whenever you file the application, they separately call you for a biometrics appointment. You don't attach anything to the application. They call you separately. You get a notice, biometrics appointment notice in the mail, where it says the date and location where you have to go and do your biometrics. They take your picture, they take your fingerprint. That's it. So you don't really need to attach that kind of stuff to your application. There might be some stuff you do need to attach, some documents, so make sure to read through the instructions, but not the biometrics. All right, let's get to the next one. Jesse Miles. What if you already got your EAD and you're not waiting for it? Should I still fill the form in there? Okay, so he's asking about the change, Jesse, or she, I don't know, he or she. Asking about the change of address. Yeah, of course, definitely do change the, I mean it's your address, it's your mail that you're getting, so you might get some other stuff besides the EAD, some other important documents. So yeah, of course. All right, next one. Hey, I have a question. Can my spouse, who is American, sponsor my green card? Yes. The answer is yes. One of the qualifying categories or requirements to receive a green card is if you have a spouse who's an American citizen. So yes, you can definitely apply for permanent residence for sure. Let's move on to the next one. Simple question if you can assist. Let's see. Joe Biden talking. Okay, so it's politics. So politics never easy. Okay, but anyway, Joe Biden talking about providing citizenship to undocumented immigrants. Is that for one who applied any case after his overstay, or one who didn't apply any case yet, but Mr. Biden going to start any application for them to apply it? Satish, unfortunately, with me being involved in politics and the immigration both, and seeing during the Obama era and what happened during the Obama era and what happened with the immigration, I don't really have a 100% definitive answer, but it's not looking very good for people who actually did apply legally for for cases like asylum cases, green card cases, petitions for their relatives, and even the visas, because whenever it comes to undocumented immigrants, I did the actual video where I kind of described the difference between undocumented immigrants, which is the same thing as illegal immigrant. Don't confuse the two, because once you come into the United States of America and you apply for something, you are no longer undocumented. Whenever you come in here, you are not undocumented because you have your visa, you have your passport, you have your whatever. And then once you apply for something, you are not undocumented. Even if you apply for asylum and you're in pending asylum and you don't have nothing, you don't have the EAD, Employment Authorization Document, you are still not undocumented. Undocumented immigrants are those that either crossed the border illegally and now are here illegally in the country, or the ones that came legally with a visa and then overstayed their visa and now they are in the country illegally because their visa status expired. So that's usually who these politicians refer to. And unfortunately, whenever it comes to those people, the resources that they use and that they make the USCIS and Customs Border use on those people, it takes away from the people who actually did apply for cases, who are waiting for their interviews, who are waiting for their petitions and stuff like that. Unfortunately, that's just from my observation, from my experience. Hopefully it's not going to be the case with this administration, but that's what I've seen with the Obama era, which is not much different from what it is right now. Alrighty, let's move on to the next one. Tatiana Yamiogo. Hey everyone, I have a question. How long is the process after biometric? I did my fingerprint since November 10, 2020, so 56 days today, and I still don't have any response. But I applied my travel documents since June. I don't know why it took so long. I'm so confused about that. 7 months now. I'm sorry, Tatiana, it's taken so long. That's just the way it is with everything that's going on, because USCIS have seen such a surge in these applications. Not specifically the travel document, but really everything else, because of this whole pandemic thing that's going on, right? So people are filing for the extension of stay, people are filing for the change of status, people are filing petitions for their relatives and stuff like that, right, due to this. And there's a lot of surge. And of course, a lot of USCIS offices, they have been closed for a while, so keep that in mind as well. Now, typically the whole application for travel document takes about 3 months, typically, including your after you file it, after they receive it, after you go to the biometrics. All of that takes about 3 months, but for you, 7 months looks like it's been already more than double. At least it's moving. At least it is moving, because they did call you for the biometrics and stuff like that. So you already know it's there. So hopefully it should be sometime soon. But you can always call in the customer phone line and ask them and follow up on that. You can always go to there was, let's see if it's still there, USCIS, because apparently, so they changed everything so much that I don't even know. anymore. Let's see. So before, what you could do is tools, case status online. So that's, you would go to that, right? And then submit a case inquiry. Okay, so it's still here. So this page is actually old, it didn't change. Good. So check your case status, see where it is, and if it doesn't really tell you any much information, submit a case inquiry. And what you do here is it takes you to some other page, and you go to case outside normal processing time, and then you fill up all this information here. Form number, obviously for you is going to be 131, there it is, and then whatever kind of, whatever you're applying. For example, if you're a permanent resident, that's what it's going to be. Then receipt number, date filed, all of your information, and submit it. Kind of like an inquiry. Honestly, they don't do much, because then USCIS just replies and says, hey, no, we are still processing your case. Wow, okay, good to know, thank you. But, at least you're doing something. Alrighty, so let's move on to the next question. Metin Bayar, how to request 1998 to 2003 history records. These are the years I ever been in USA, never after. If possible, you can tell. Thank you for sharing videos. You're very welcome. Again, the only way you could do that is through that website that I included in this I-94 travel history video. It's really complicated because, like I was mentioning in the video, if there is any kind of minor mistake in the records that they were putting out, that's it. Your records are lost and you will not be able to pull them out. You can try reaching out through the phone number that they have on the website and see if you can get it that way. But most of the times, it really depends on what you are trying to do. If you are applying for example, another visa with the embassy and you have to fill in the application, you can just put not exact dates and just put months and year, and that's it. And then tell them that, hey, it's been so long ago, my passport changed since then, I don't have these records. Hopefully that helps. All right, next, as a legal brown immigrant, the answer is simple. We came legally and applied for a green card, then approved for one prior to coming here. Okay, that's not a question. As a legal brown immigrant, I'm not sure what brown immigrant means. The answer is simple. We came legally and applied for a green card, then approved for one prior to coming here. Not really, because like I said, you can come into the country, you can come into the United States of America as, let's say, a student, and then can get married and get your green card based on marriage. So you're coming in here, yes, legally, of course, but not with a green card, not getting it prior to coming here, like you said. So I don't know what you're trying to kind of say there. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. Thank you for your video. You're very welcome. Shian, for Form I-29, 129, 012720, version part 6, information about the beneficiary public benefits, item 1. If I have never received any public benefits, do I need to check both? No, the beneficiary has not received any of the above listing public benefits, and no, the beneficiary is not certified to receive any of the above lists. No, just select the no, the beneficiary has not received any of the above listing public benefits. That's it. Next. Jindesh Soni. Hello, sir. Your videos are really helping us to file the visa extension application. I'm grateful that it's helpful. Thank you very much for that. You're very welcome. I applied for the extension of B1, B2 visa application on June 23rd, 2020, as my visa status was expiring in July 2020. Yet there is no updates on my visa extension. I haven't got any letters as well. And when I check my application status, it says case was received. I left from the USA in September 2020 as the flights to my country resumed. But I do not know what will be the circumstances when I travel back to USA. Please guide me. Thank you. Jindesh, like I was answering to the other question, you have nothing to worry about because you did leave the country. Wait, I applied for the extension on June 23rd, and my visa status was expiring in July. You left in September. Okay, so you left after your stay expired. So hopefully your extension was approved and all your stay that you stayed past it is good. It would be really helpful if you had access to, somebody had access, obviously you're not here anymore, not in the United States of America, but somebody you know he is here and they have the mailing address and they get the stuff and then they can see and, you know, whether you were approved or not. That would be very helpful, because you kind of don't want to risk coming back here and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, look, you overstayed your stay before that. And you will be like, but I applied for extension. And they're like, well, it was denied, so you overstayed. You don't want to be in that situation. So it would be really nice for you to know the answer, if it was approved or not. So make sure you're staying on top of that case. And I would not risk coming back here until that case actually, the extension is actually, there is an answer on it. Hopefully it's a positive answer for you. Really hope it is. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's see, I'll do the rest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more questions, and then we'll stop at that, and hopefully I'll try to do another video, one of these, to answer more questions, because there are a lot of them, so hopefully I'll be able to address all of them. But if I can't, I'm sorry, I really do apologize. I get, like you've probably seen the notifications, 500 notifications, 500 questions. Just physically impossible for me to go through all of them. All right, let's get to the next one. Will Conway Jr. First of all, filing for taxes and paying taxes are two different things. Filing for taxes with the intention of taking fraudulent advantage of the child tax credit is wrong. Okay. Good to know. Thank you. Vootsie Tube. If I sign the paper, do I need to pack my stuff and go to war right away? So that was a question on what is selective service system. No, it's a selective service system. The whole point of selective service system is that you are registered in the selective service system, which is selective and is used whenever there is a shortage of personnel, resources. So no, no. Okay, next question. What is the form number and form subtype for a married green card holder only for address change? What is a form number and form subtype for a married green card holder only for address change? That is only address change. Changing address, there's only one form. There is no form number, there is no form subtype. I think there is a form number, but there is no form subtype. Let's take a look and see if the links still work. I think it was AR 15, something like that. Let's see. So official address change. No, there isn't really any form number, looks like.
How to stop buffering issues anywhere.
So
anytime,
continue.
instantly.
Change of address.
Internet providers don't want you to know about this.
Have you moved?
Chris Hurst and Matthew Anderson are two computer engineers. They found a way to boost Wi-Fi signals instantly.
Case information. Oh, I see what you mean. All right. So okay, I see what you mean. So this form number and form subtype is not for the address change. You mean for your case, which is, let's see, what is it? Married green card holder. So you're a married green card holder, but what kind of case do you have right now in process? Because you already have a green card. So do you currently have any kind of cases with USCIS? Any kind of pending cases? Any kind of applications? If no, then you don't need to do it with USCIS. You only need to change your address with USPS. If you do, for example, have a naturalization, let's say you applied for naturalization, then you would obviously find the naturalization, which is N400, and that's it. That's the only subtype, receipt number, zip code, that's it. All right, so only applications, only pending cases. That's it. If you don't have anything pending with USCIS right now, like EAD or green card or naturalization, whatever you might have, don't bother with this. Just do the change of address with USPS. All right. Man, got to the bottom of that one. All right, let's move to the next. On Form 1, I-131 personal information, what to fill an alien number. Can I leave it blank? And what attachments do I send along with my I-765 form combo card renewal? Thanks. Okay, so whenever it comes to the alien registration number is usually given to someone who is in some kind of immigration process, some kind of immigration case that they have. If you don't have it, that's fine. A lot of non-immigrant visa holders, they don't have that. So if you don't, that's fine. Just leave it blank. Yeah, that's completely fine. What attachments do I send along with my I-765? Now, 765 is the employment authorization document. It's hard to answer that question because I don't know what status based on you are applying for I-765. So, are you applying for I-765 and are you applying for I-131 travel document? It's a little bit confusing. So if you can provide more information, that would be very helpful. I'll try to answer that. All right, very last question. It's been a while. All right, let's finish up with this one. Ayuketanchu Andi. Please, sir, I will like to know if it's possible to include your spouse and children in the asylum process whereas they are not based in the US. Okay, so how that works is if they're not in the US, yes, you do definitely put them in the application 100%. You have to, yes. If you're married, if you have children, you definitely do put them in the asylum application. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a different filing process. Make sure you follow the instructions carefully for that. And it's going to be a little bit of a different process whenever it comes to later when if you are approved for the asylum and you bringing them here, because obviously they are part of your case because it's your spouse and it's your children. It's going to be a little bit different than if they were already here. But nevertheless, yes, the answer is definitely yes. You have to put them in the application. They will be part of your case. So hopefully the questions that I answered, even if you didn't ask them, whoever's watching, some of these things you found helpful. Go ahead, ask some more questions, and like I said, I'll try to get back to this next week, and from now on I'll try to get back every week and answer questions as much as possible, because that's just a lot of questions and you guys do need help. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.